What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're talking about something that is absolutely necessary when investing in RV parks. And that necessary thing is what's called the pivot, the ability to be able to pivot. The pivot actually comes from the game of basketball. It's a movement in which you have the ball in your hands, you're facing one direction. With the other foot, you change completely the direction to go to a whole new path. And that is a metaphorical way to describe how you should feel and how you should be when it comes to investing in RV parks. You should be 100% all in on your focus and on your goals, but you should also be 100% willing to change and willing to pivot if it's necessary. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about how I pivoted in my own RV park investment journey. So I actually started my investing journey by investing in mobile homes. I did buy and flip mobile homes. I would start with cheap mobile homes, fix them up, and then I'd turn around and I'd sell them. Now, I sold these homes kind of in an untraditional way. I would do what's called owner finance. I would pretty much rent to own these mobile homes to buyers. So I had a couple of these mobile home owner finance deals in my portfolio, and I was in the middle of investing in my RV park. I had bought the property already. I was in the middle of the investment. I was kind of getting down to, the last things that I needed to do. I was kind of in the middle of everything, just kind of crunch time, getting, kind of low on funds, when one of my tenants that had bought a mobile home from me, I already sold it to him. It was owner financed, and he was, already a year or two into his whole contract, went ahead and just stopped paying me, kind of started avoiding me, and it became a huge problem for me. And he wouldn't get out of the house, and I threatened him with lawyers saying, hey, if you don't get out, I'm going to bring my lawyers in. Eventually he finally got out after a couple months of nagging him to get out. And when I took over the house was a complete disaster. It was an absolute disaster. The renter was actually about $2,000 behind on his lot rent payments. So I had to make up that difference to the mobile home park. I had to pay them for what he had not paid, even though he was legally supposed to. I went ahead and just took care of it. And then the house itself probably needed about like $15,000 to $20,000 worth of repairs. I mean, everything was really bad when I took over the house. I mean, the walls were painted red. The floor was completely destroyed. There was water damage everywhere. There was dogs that had peed all over the house. It was just a complete disaster, and it was the last thing that I needed in the middle of my RV park construction. I was just about to, cross the finish line. I had almost everything done, and then this came out of nowhere, and I was completely shell-shocked. I didn't know what to do. So I did what was called the pivot, and I had been making cash flow from my other mobile home that I had. I was probably making like $600 a month from this mobile home, and so what I did is I did a pivot. And the pivot move was that instead of collecting that cash flow, I went ahead and I took that mobile home note and I put it up online to sell all together as a note for cash. And that was not something that I intended. I wanted to have as much cash flow coming in as I could, but I did a pivot move and I took that mobile home and I put it up online and I actually sold it to an investor that buys notes out of, I think it was like South Florida or something like that. But it was a completely different move, something that I had never thought of doing. It was just what happened in the moment. I needed to pivot. I had, run into this brick wall where I had to fix, a mobile home. I had to get rid of it quick, and I had to pivot. I had to come up with something quick. And so it actually worked out really well for me. I had sold the mobile home note just in time before, having to pay a certain deadline for my septic that I had to pay, which was a huge amount of money. And I had just enough from selling the mobile home note to be able to finish all my RV park work while also being able to repair and sell my other mobile home that this guy had ruined. And that was a perfect example to me of an effective pivot, being able to face a problem when you're going a certain direction and have to change directions. Because the thing with this whole course is we really think that it's just going to be a straight shot, that it's just the goal's there and we're just going to get straight to it by going there. But the reality is you're going to have to pivot along the way. I would say the course to success is not a straight line, but more a zigzag. You have to learn to pretty much just go around these things that come your way. And your thought of what you think the RV park's going to be might not be exactly what you think it's going to be. You may think you want 28 renters on your property, but really you might have to do 14 on this property, and then you might have to acquire another one and do another 14. So you have to kind of think of ways to be creative. I would say, honestly, like one of the most important things in this business of investing in RV parks is creativity. It's the ability to pivot, the ability to take ideas that might seem far-fetched and entertain them and build something that actually could work. And that's something that I do with my business partner is we will literally get on the phone for like an hour or two, and we will just start throwing ideas at each other. And we'll just, if something like major comes our way, we'll start throwing ideas at each other. We'll start thinking of ways in which we can pivot, ways in which we can get around this. Like, how could we be creative? How could we figure something out to get past this? And you kind of have to be that way. You have to maneuver and be flexible and have ingenuity and creativity. That's going to serve you the most. But I wanted to share this little video just to inspire you guys. Keep pivoting in life, no matter what it is. It doesn't even have to be RV parks. It could be your family life. It could be just anything financially related, business related, physical health, whatever it is. Learn to pivot. Learn to take things that come your way and make a change in direction if you need to. Make a pivot move if you have to. And it might lead you on a whole nother course that you never thought of that will be 10 times better than what you think is the best way to go. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you got value out of this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be putting out tons of RV park content. If you're starting an RV park or you're wanting to get invested in RV parks, this is the channel for you. I'm going to share a lot of inside scoop stuff that you probably won't find on other channels. By the way, I did make an ebook. The link is down below in the description if you want to read that. It's about my journey from a busboy to an RV park investor, so you gotta check that out. Make sure to check out the other videos on my page, and have a great day.